have exorcised the demon. This house is clear. Outcast Haven, episode 32.
So this is actually episode 31. We had a lost episode last week. It was a whole thing.
Starting now. I finally broke the 3-in-1 curse today. So Kano's going away. Not for Skirmish on Saturday. I'll still play him on Skirmish on Saturday, but he 4-0'd. So now at locals, I can start doing like Cough Danes, Azaleas, and have fun.
Other people
That's all I got
have
to say about
fun
that subject
subsequently
matter.
As well now.
What was that? What was that?
I said now other people subsequently get to have fun too, which is great for them.
That's just rude. That's just
no. I mean, your wizard's fine.
Good job.
No, it was good. It was good. Thank you. We had an amazing turnout for an armory, webcam armory today that we just got done an hour ago. Blake was testing for DBS, so he didn't join us tonight. But we had Mark, myself, Dane on. Dane ran Benji. If he didn't go to time, he probably would have been second. Subsequent time put him into third place. Mark ran KO, which is just awesome because he didn't care. He's like, I'm having fun tonight. I'm rolling dice. And then I ran Kano again. So top four was Kano, Ira, Benji, Dorinthia. So we had 4 different classes, top 4 for our first armory for our Roseville store, the Source Comics and Games. Super pumped. We'll start doing those bi-weekly, it sounds like, as we pick a day. So Minnesota scene, we are starting to rock and roll. I TO'd this event for the Source, had great support from there. I mean, having teammates Mark and Dane on to help with anything. I mean, great. So if you haven't started your local scene, jump in it. It's a ton of fun and meeting a lot of awesome new people.
Yeah, just like a little bit of store support, like even just having someone on to just be like, hey, I'm going to run the matchmaking. You guys have fun. Like getting that support like that didn't take a ton. Like I know you had to pester them a little bit because they were being really careful with COVID and all that, which makes sense. But like getting them to like put something on after that, it's easy. Like there's like the process of actually running it on Discord is really straightforward. So if you do have questions about it, feel free to hit us up in the comments. Like we'd love to, alleviate any concerns you might have going into it. But it's really straightforward, really fun once you get the community going.
So we're gonna recap stuff. So let's go back in time. I know one of us did really well back in time. The other ones of us, okay to not so good. But Blake, how did the armory full plate go last Saturday?
I mean, spoiler alert, it went well for me. It went well for. So I 4-0'd the seal event and then 3-1 the Blitz event. So I got me a cold foil and got me a sweet fine centaur mat that I'm in love with and I'm really happy with. So played like, it's funny because I don't really play a ton of Ninja, but for some reason that's like it calls to me when I play in a sealed event, and I just like Katsu's my boy. Like I like roll up to the seal event, so like we're doing Katsu, and it always goes well for me. So I've 3-1 and 4-0'd an event with Katsu now in sealed. So until we do a different format, WTR is basically just it's got to be Katsu because he treats me well. And then I 3-1 with Kano in the Blitz event, and I lost. The first match was brutal because I had one of those moments where I was like playing Dorinthia and he's playing Go Tall Dorinthia, and I was like, I got nothing. I can't win here, so I'm just gonna block this one. So I blocked 12, and he hit me with the 13, popped the bolters, and then just smoked me. And I was like, GG's, baby. So I lost the first round, then got 3 wins to close that one out. So that felt pretty good. So that's my first go with Kano.
In that same event, I went 3-0 and then lost in my typical fashion against the same Ira player, which I finally got vengeance on Justin. Oh, damn, I beat you, all right, you son of a... You've beat me like 3 times in a row. I owed you, finally.
Yeah, that'll probably be like the last time now, and he'll just continue on his streak.
Shut it, Mark.
Nah.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Well, I did just absolutely terrible just last weekend, so I'm trying to even remember now. I think I went 1-3 in both of them. It was really bad. So I played Rhinar. I somehow started with a mirror match, which went well for me. Randomly, yeah. So I had my deck all tech for Dorinthia. I'm like, people can play Dorinthia. I got all these unmovables, and I didn't play a single Dorinthia, so it felt pretty bad. Did terrible in the sealed. I did Dorinthia. Just didn't get as many cards. The previous one I did pretty decent with Dorinthia, but I just didn't get enough stuff, and it just felt pretty meh. So lesson learned. Maybe I don't love sealed as much as I did. I still like it. It's maybe getting a little, Welcome to Wraith. I agree. It's starting to get now a little bit, little old maybe. But
It'd be fun to do Arcane for sure.
yeah, something to spice it up. I think I'd be up for the change at this point. So
it's
how'd
funny.
you do, Dane?
Yeah, it's like the opposite for me, Blake. It's funny too because it's like the opposite characters that we main in like constructed formats. Because it's like Katsu's calling to Blake, and I sit down for a sealed, and I'm like, all right, looks like I'm going warrior every sealed event, like to the point where it's like I'm having so much fun playing warrior and sealed that I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick up the pieces so I can make a blitz and constructed deck. Because if it's as fun to play and like mess with people just with like the limited attack reactions and stuff that I get in sealed, I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just buy it all and put together a blitz and constructed deck. So no, it's been, last week was definitely better than the week prior, even though I didn't do. So the last time we went down there, I 3-1 the sealed and 0-4'd the blitz with Viscerai, because I was bringing my own like spicy Viscerai build I've been messing with, and just didn't work and didn't hit my wombo combo. But this week, I think I 2-2'd both of them. But my losses in I 3-1 sealed, 2-2'd. I don't remember. Anyways, my losses in the sealed were to Jason. One loss was to Jason. Then in the constructed, in Blitz, I lost to Jason and then to Justin, the guy who beat Jason. So it did feel terrible. I brought mech. I just wanted to shotgun people. So I was doing the boost dash, and that was a ton of fun.
And we replayed that back, and you got me in game 2.
Yeah, I just got, and that was on stream too. I felt real dumb.
You went balls out, and I'm like, why did you guys do that?
Yeah, I just you didn't do anything after the second boost. You didn't like instant or anything like that, and I only had one card in hand. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go. Let's just push him. Maybe he doesn't have anything. Maybe it'll work out. It didn't, and he crushed me. But yeah, no, we replayed it back, and I was like, all right, just because we're on stream, like I want to play this how I'm supposed to play it, and I ended up taking that one. But obviously that one doesn't count. So it was fun. It was good. I'm having fun playing different decks. I'm gonna be on Benji. I'm on Benji now going forward after the local tonight, this weekend, this weekend.
We played again tonight. We keep getting matched every single tournament. I don't know if I've ever played Mark. I'll get Blake like every other, but me and you, it's pretty much we'll go 1-0 or 2-0.
It's early rounds too. It's like I don't think we've ever gone. I don't think it's ever been the initial match, but round 2, I think we've played each other round 2 like 3 times now of like the 5 or 6 like tournaments that we've done, which is silly.
Insane.
And it's always your wizard, and I'm always like, every deck I bring, I'm like, well, I hope I dodge wizard, and
it's literally what you say. And I always go, Dane, it'll be fine. What are the odds that you play me?
Every time. And now watch, you're gonna take Cav Dane or something that I just would love to nom because Drone's gone, and I'm just never gonna play you. It's like, oh, okay. Fantastic.
Speaking of that, let's first impression. So a lot of stuff came out in the past 24 hours. The 2 things was the XP modifiers. which I don't know if we really need to jump in that too much. There were some people that were caught not doing the right things and banned, lost points, whatever. We don't know who they are. We don't really care. We've never really cared too much about XP. But the big news is Drone of Brutality, the first restricted card for Flesh and Blood. I love the reasoning. If you read the article that Flesh and Blood put out, their reasoning for banning it had nothing to do with what decks were playing it. The reasoning was super good. So I just want to get everybody's reaction to that. Let's go. Mark, did you read the article first off?
Yes. Yeah. I agree with it. Like I said, I think their description made a lot of sense, that it just doesn't really fit with the vibe of the game, and trying to think of the best way to use a card, and if you just keep using it, it kind of defeats it. So like a lot of people said, I don't know if it's really enough to hurt decks like Ira, but I think it's probably a start and probably a good call. So I'm a fan.
Well, to be clear, it does not hurt Ira at all.
Yeah. People made the point that like in Ira, the card was basically in there for the mirror because the mirror was super, super grindy. So it was just like a free block on the second Kodachi that just went back to your deck, and you could cycle it through and keep blocking second Kodachis with it. And it gave you like the free card to get rid of on that, so you could keep doing your things. And then eventually in the late game, you just kind of used it as like a 7, second card, swing Kodachi, drone for 7, and then it just went back into your deck. You did it again. And so it's like really good tech in the mirror, but like it really doesn't do anything in terms of affecting Ira against the meta. I think Ira will honestly, like to Matt Rogers' point, I think it probably gets better because now they're not running a suboptimal card into the field for the mirror, and they start to run things like, they're more consistently hitting something like Flying Kick or Torrent of Tempo. That's more frustrating to play into as the second one, because it either has Go Again or it's an 8, or it has conditional Go Again, which is super frustrating when they're like, here's a conditional Go Again, and you're like, oh god, so I got to block it. You're gonna come over the top of it. And I think the ban is good in terms of just taking a card out of the game that doesn't inherently do anything. And people get weird about like, our people are already like, oh well, like they weren't gonna do this, they weren't gonna ban cards, they weren't gonna, and it's just like the card doesn't really serve a great purpose. For the game. It's really for the game. It's really good in sealed, and it will still be available in sealed until the next run of Unlimited comes out. And then once the next run of Unlimited comes out, it just won't be around anymore. So I think it's good. I like their reasoning behind it, and I approve. So not that they needed that, but
so DM me and buy my drones off me. Is the moral of that?
I have alpha drones.
That's Dane's hot take.
Alpha foil drones, just
for sale.
Come and get them.
Alpha.
No, I liked it a lot, especially because, like you guys already stated in the article, they made it clear that it just doesn't fit with like a lot of the theme of what they wanted the game to be. They wanted the cards to have like that give and take. Like you use it for one thing. Like, what are you going to use this card for? Because that's it. Are you going to block with it? Are you going to pitch it? You're going to, you know what I mean? And Drone took not all of that, but it took a big chunk of that thought process out of it and gave inevitability to decks. So I think that it was smart, just for the sake of keeping the game the way that they envisioned the game being. And I could see how that type of card could sneak in through initial play testing. Ira is a very specific matchup but a very specific build that highlights what's wrong with that card. And I think that if Ira never found that or teched that or had like a reason to do it, it might have just kept flying under the radar and not been a big deal. But it just made it obvious that this card isn't the way that they want the game to go. So makes total sense, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's interesting is somebody made a point, and I'd be curious to find out if it's true or not, or what the backstory is. But somebody made a point to say that they thought they had heard that we weren't supposed to be introduced to Blitz until Monarch. The starter decks for Monarch the starter decks for Monarch are going to be Blitz, and that was supposed to be the introduction to the Blitz meta. And Ira was supposed to specifically be a learning deck. So you would never play Ira except against Ira, and you wouldn't play like a high-tuned Ira deck into the field, which is why people are having complaints about Ira, is because maybe there's something in Monarch that just checks Ira and keeps Ira at a reasonable level, which would make a big difference in the fact of where, and I think that honestly, like, and this is maybe like the perfect segue into the next topic, is I think the thing that's interesting to me now is now seeing how Ira is evolving and how Dorinthia is evolving and how Kano is kind of starting to rear his ugly lightning dragon head and show people that, like, when it's starting to be piloted correctly, it's starting to make a little ripple in the water that is the Ira Dorinthia meta here in the States.
Yep.
And I'll say I talked badly against this card for a while, and I did go to an unmovable in my deck. I went up to 18 blues, and I 10 blocked a Dorinthia play when I had a Toma Aetherwind in my arsenal. And let me just tell you, that felt freaking amazing, being able to block with Tunic, a card from hand, and then another one to 10 block, which would usually be either you go off as wizard or no, you just wasted a lot of great cards. And now I'm going to get 2 cards with the Tome of Aetherwind. You're in trouble. So that felt really, really good. So there's something to be said there. I agree that wizards, and I think just tuning your deck, Dane, you've been tuning the deck for Benji now for slowly, because it takes, and this is back to what Jacob Pearson said about how many games you need to get in before you adjust your deck.
Mm-hmm.
And now even with Kano, I've learned that, I've put 6 games in on this new build, and I have not found a card yet to remove from it. So
yeah.
I don't know what, after you've done 6 games with Benji, is there a card that you've seen that you want to remove or switch out from that?
No, I think I just need to, honestly, I'm at the point where I strongly feel like I need to just learn my lines of play into specific builds. Like your wizard, I tried, so actually we can talk afterwards, Blake, but Blake and I were brainstorming like ways to like what equipment to run and stuff into wizard with Benji, because it doesn't inherently feel bad. It's just the pacing of the game, that 3 life being lost early, like to just not have on Benji, like just basically takes a turn away effectively. And we were talking about different ways to like maybe elongate, but so I tried Mask tonight in the wizard matchup, and just to try and pull that card for the block and the Kodachis. It didn't really do anything. Honestly, I think that the additional Null is probably the way, or even Snapdragon sided in, I think could be good. Because the unblockable is not as cute of a thing into wizard, because it doesn't matter if it's unblockable, they're going to come over the top and kill you before it hits anyways. So yeah, but like, just like running those matchups back and like learning what lines you're looking for, like knowing that like the flying kick, like early is great, but like mid to late game, not great into wizard, because it's just taking too many cards from hand and leaving you on your back foot. And a good wizard player is going to play on their turn and not let you have cards in hand. So yeah,
the thing I learned about the Benji though, as a wizard player, was your 1 and 2 blocks are all blue. So taking those doesn't affect me, especially early game, because I know you're dumping blue cards. Like if you want to dump all your blue cards, then I am going to start playing on your turn more. And I played a little bit more on your turn than I usually would in most games, just because if I had a blue and a red down, I had 3 cards to play with on your turn. So I'm just going to take all those because I can't block them anyway. I don't have armor. And then just play a little bit on your turn to knock a little bit of that damage in, so that on my turn, I'm knocking in more to set up, which that's the only problem I Benji has into wizard, is the predictability of the blue pitches.
Yeah.
So your best card is also your best defense.
Yeah, that's true. But like, honestly, I think it comes down to how early I can set up that really go wide unblockable turn. If I can get you down like turn 2, turn 3, down to like 6 life, we don't need to get this. This isn't the Benji podcast, but like, it's the moral of the story. Yeah. I
don't know if Mark's up here. Which side is Mark on?
He's right above you. You're right.
Right here.
So you nailed it. So
Mark,
moral of the story is that tweaking decks and like fine tuning them into what you think is going to be popular in the meta is super fun. I would love to just get the wizard matchup to be like even a 40-60 wizard favor. Like I can sleep at night with that. But yeah, no, Benji's super fun, and this one's gonna be on for a while.
So I today on Facebook I begged for a spoiler in Monarch. I got made fun of by the Australians, and I'm out begging for spoilers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you guys think if we're gonna get some spoilers. I mean, now we know there was some very, very amazing Nostradamus-like content creators out there that you predicted that they were going to go dark and light. We had a roundtable discussion. We're baffled how you figured this out. We don't know. We were spreading the numbers. Blake's over there trying to figure it out. I mean, was it the poster that was cut in the middle that got you to figure? I don't know what your guys' opinion. I don't understand.
Yeah. So little background. We had a podcast last week where we hit on this, and it was a great podcast. Super fun. Like, so it's a little bit outdated now, but just thought it was funny that like, dude, content creators posting and being like, oh, totally called it light and dark. And we're just like, how did you figure it out? Like, so I had to give some there, but yeah.
And Dane was going to write about it, but the sarcasm does not come over properly over the written word.
I made a post.
It does the spoken word.
I made a post after a couple people posted like, we called it, check out our video. And I was just, I wrote up the most snarky, like, hey guys, like, you know, because of my supreme intellect, I figured this out ahead of time. Please check out this video and give me your like and subscribe in exchange for my plethora of knowledge that I bequeathed upon you. Like, just super fucking snarky, because I was like, why? Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Basically Dane's just saying he was trying to stay on brand for the outcasts. Like, that's kind of what we definitely are, like, self-aware in our, you know, sarcasm and smartassery. Like, we totally know that that's who we are. So we just appreciate when people actually get the fact that we are having fun and poking at the fact that sometimes, like, people can be a little overzealous to, like, create something that can be a little on the nose, too much so. And we have a little more fun with it, I think, and we don't get offended when people like say things to us about that. And yeah, so we have fun with it. I mean,
like 200% from my normal personality, just, you know, to keep me in the realm of not everybody hating me.
Yeah, Jesus, you guys are like cats when it comes to like social media. I try to like be like somewhat the voice of reason, because we've got, you know, a team of hotheads, and then I try to like somewhat stay balanced, but it's all right. It's fun. It's all in good fun in the end.
I'll sometimes text Mark, like, hey Mark, why don't you up there? Can you just like throw in a snarky comment on this post for me, please?
I know. I'm just so, yeah. I have a hard time. Like I want to so bad, but I'm like, I'm just gonna regret it. I just
100%. That's how I am. Like I
try really hard. Like, especially people are like, when I sell stuff, which I, you know, sell a lot of random crap online, and they'll just, you know, just the snarky, just, why it's not worth it. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanna just, you know, but it's just not worth it.
Is Blake up top or down below here?
I'm not telling you what anyone else is, because you're leaning into it way too hard.
No, I want to know where Blake is.
I tell you,
no, point the other way. Point the other way.
Right here. Right here.
Other way.
Me and Blake.
No, the other arm.
No, like your other arm, Jason.
It's somehow funnier though.
Here?
Yep. So you're pointing at me right now. Now go up with that arm.
Oh, up here. Blake's
That's
up here.
Blake's up there. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
Blake.
that.
So Blake, we don't have that problem that
no.
has.
Yeah.
We just don't regret it. We just say it and we just move on with our lives.
I mean, to be fair, like if I didn't, like, if this wasn't already tattooed, I might consider getting the no regrets thing tattooed on here, just because, like, that's kind of how I live my life on social media. Because I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, right? Like, this is it's the internet. It's gonna live on forever. So let's just have fun with it. Which is I mean, which, to be fair, is why, like, I have a lot of fun, and one of the ways that I kind of split the difference on it, because sometimes I will type things that I shouldn't say and then I delete them. Other times I just type them and I hit send, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna regret that, but whatever. And then I find like a happy middle ground where a lot of times what I do is like meme things. Like that's like my way to be like sarcastic and mouthy.
It's like less confrontational too. I think
people have a little bit better sense of humor. Like today, like I posted the one where it's like the three, like orangutans.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're Ira nerf. And I'm just like that, because I think like so many people were like upset. They're like, yeah, Drone's gonna get rid of Ira. And then people like Jordan and Matt Rogers, who are like very much Ira purists, were like, yeah, it doesn't really change anything. And it's like, wait, where Ira nerf. And it's like people are just like, no, I want it now.
It's hard. I don't want to learn how to play into it. I want it to just not be there.
I mean, I legitimately got told to f off over an auction, like just trying to, like, I got complaints on something. I just like, hey, you know, we can't do this.
How dare you follow the rules?
Turned into this whole show of epic proportions. And like, I legitimately got a private or like message. I got screenshotted by a bunch of people. Like, hey, here's what he sent. Like, told to F off. Like, I'm like, we don't get paid to do this. I just help moderate.
Right. I'm gonna step in here just because on the off chance that someone watches this that did see any of that, just to be clear, what happened was this dude posted and said that he had a secret reserve, and if it wasn't hit, he wasn't gonna sell. Right. And he said you just want to do it so that people weren't going to collude against it, which that's bullshit. You just want to be able to say, I didn't get enough money in the bid, so I'm not going to sell it. Sorry. Didn't hit my reserve that no one knows what it is except for me. So which like very obviously like no, like that's not how it works. Like at the very least, like message Jason and be like, hey, this is the reserve for this item. Like even that is like you're bending the rules a little bit, because it says if someone wins a bid, you have to sell them that item that they won the bid on. No, there was no asterisks bottom of the writing, sub asterisks, unless you have a reserve on the item that was not met. Like no, they win the bid, you sell them the item. Like what's this bullshit trying to like make it on Jason, who's moderating this thing for free? Like,
yeah,
I
no
benefit.
That was Gage made the site. He comes from DBS.
Yeah.
He's like, message him. Do you want to help admin it? Yeah, absolutely. I'll help. I don't spend times in there. I don't go on there unless I get messaged by somebody. Why would you sit there and watch these sites unless I'm looking to buy or sell, which I'm doing neither right now?
Dude, you're not in your parents' basement, just like just like staring at your computer all day.
I'm a 42-year-old motherfucking man, and you can tell me to F off? Are you serious? At least come to my house and tell me.
To me, this is like the equivalent, right? Like a good example in terms of like, and some of this I suppose is just like community like practice, like good practices on how to be involved in a community. And another thing that happened this week that kind of made me laugh, just in terms of like people maybe taking this thing too seriously, is granted like the art and the whole thing surrounding this game definitely leans a little more adult, and I get that. Some of the art is more bloody, the story and the history is more war-esque and stuff of this, and I get that. Like I come from a game, we play Dragon Ball, and you know Dane plays it too, and in that game like there's definitely like there's this like Dane hates it. I think it's hilarious. Like it's almost like professional wrestling-esque, where people are like challenging each other in the groups, and they're calling each other names and calling each other out to battle and do money matches. And it's like, I think it's hilarious because I know 90% of it is in good fun. Like it's just badgering and poking and prodding. And I think like Jordan is a prime example of somebody who I thoroughly enjoy Jordan's interactions in the community group. Because if you look at the group, what he is doing 99.9% of the time is just having fun. His personality is he's just badgering, and you can tell that's the kind of guy he is. And I like it. Like it's in good fun and to not back down. Like I love the fact he's like, I'll put money on the line, I'll play anybody. And I'm like, okay, like he's putting his money where his mouth is. And then people are like getting butthurt about him making jokes and comments and posting screenshots of stuff. And it's like, are you just missing like that he's saying it very sarcastically and tongue in cheek, and even if he's upset about it, at least he's willing to like put his money. It's like, all right, people, we've hit an important moment in the community. So maybe this needs to be the next PSA. We need to just chill out. Like let's take it down a notch and realize we are not. This is not the stock market, okay? And even in the stock market, we're not taking things seriously in America. Game stonks, baby, to the moon. Let's go. Like game stonks. Like we're having fun in America with like the stock market. So if we're taking this too seriously in like marketplace auction groups and on the like community page, take it down a notch. Okay. Life is not that serious. Chill.
I do need to say I don't not like that. Like I like that stuff, like the like calling people out and everything. The thing that I don't like is where the game disappears and it's just like about like the drama and people just making posts on the page about like calling someone else like literally not about the game, just like calling people out. And it's like, all right, cool. It's like, am I subscribed to like the fan page or am I subscribed to People Magazine? Like, I don't give a about you and your life.
You don't have fun when like one guy's talking about some other dude's hose nasty. Like you don't think that that's like a funny thing to post on the page? Because I think that's hilarious. Like
that's fine. I'm not gonna like that. But like,
did you see it, Mark? Mark,
no.
No, it's not on this. That's on DBS. I'm waiting for that to happen here.
The other thing that got taken down. I missed that one too. Missed all the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I told Mark, come on, make a comment on here. Stick up for me a little bit. He's like, yeah, Jason, can you make it a private?
It's a public group. I don't comment on a public group.
So I made it private. I honestly thought it was private. I made the group private because all groups not private. Yeah. Because why wouldn't they be? You know what I mean? You don't want that going out to your other Facebook world. You know.
Well, I just hate you're scrolling through Facebook and just random friend. Oh, like just randomly ranting on this just weird ass page you're on. Just okay. And I've seen my other friends. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. I'm like, I don't like to be that guy. So
Mark's on the furry sites. Oh, what did Mark say? She had a cute little cotton tail.
You got me.
That's why Mark wants. He learned his lessons once. Now everything is private groups only.
You're right. You're spot on.
No, so I don't mind like I just don't like it. It's like I don't invest myself in like other adults like personal lives. That literally doesn't commute. Like People Magazine like blows my mind that it's like, oh, this other human is doing this thing. That's what they had for lunch. Wow, like can't believe it. Like I don't give a shit. Like so that's the part. That's the stuff I don't like. Yeah, but like the talking trash about the game and everything, like that's fine. That's part of the community. That all makes sense to me.
Yeah, I like that. Like I like that the community is starting to get. I actually appreciate the fact that Jordan has a little bit of that in him because I think that games need that. Like I think that when it comes down to it, and I'd be curious about your guys' thoughts on this, but we're starting to grow, right? Like the game is starting to grow. It's starting to have a competitive scene in America and in Europe and all these places. And you've got the Canadian scene. And I think that one of the things that I do think is important for the games is that they have people that are like bigger name players, and there do need to be like rivalries. Because I think that that's good for the competitive scene to have people that so you can have big matches. Because when you watch like MMA or boxing, nobody's tuning in for Joe Schmo versus John Schmo. It's like, I don't know who these guys are. I'm not interested. However, when Conor McGregor's name is on the card against some dude who called him trash, you're like, I mean, I'm kind of interested to tune into this match. And it's, I think in this sense, maybe we need less. Maybe we don't need people calling each other trash, but a friendly rivalry between like this guy is like the best player in this country and somebody else going, hold on a minute. I think I'm the best player in this country and I'm willing to put my name on it. And having those matches, I think is good for the game. And I think it's good for games in general, because I think people kind of get behind people kind of like it's like, that's my boy. Like,
Well, it's like what we did with Australia. We're like, let's go, Australia. We got you. Okay, maybe we got our asses kicked.
We'll
get our asses kicked again and again, and we'll just keep coming back. No, I like that. I do too.
I do. I like that. I like the rivalries.
Jordan, you are amazing for this game. Amazing.
Yeah, we like you. We love you, Jordan.
Show it off.
Okay, guys, hold on.
Talk American basketball. Let's go.
We're gonna have to run this back and undo that because you guys were like gagging on something. I couldn't tell what it was, but you guys might need to repeat yourselves. I just heard lots of oh. I'm leaving all of it in. I'm just saying you were sucking Jordan's dick. Okay.
Yeah. It's good shit. He goes
Yeah.
out there and he keeps community honest with his words of wisdom and calling out
I
the
do
bullshit.
appreciate that he's weeding out the chaff a little bit with some of his comments, and a lot of those New Zealand guys, like even Matt Rogers, like when they were going back and forth like on that thread that got
missed that.
deleted, you missed it all. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just funny banter, like back and forth talking about like oh yeah man, like super feasible, like didn't take me a year to get that, like one of the best players in the game. Yeah, I don't know, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, entertainment. I enjoy that kind of stuff. I like the entertainment aspect of the games, and I thought we like in our locals today, just everybody on the webcam. I try to joke around a lot of it because it's not supposed to be super serious. We're supposed to be
No,
there to
it's
have
fun.
fun, make new friends, and yeah. So I like joking around and BSing and trying to hang out outside of that and go grab some beers, play some cards while drinking some brews. Pretty excited for that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and just to like emphasize how easy it is. Like there was a guy, like my first match, a dude was holding his phone, and I just had him like tell me what his board state was, and like I asked him like what armor he was running and stuff, and he like pointed down at the start of his turn at his board, and then like set his phone down, and then we'd play through the turn, and then he'd show me his board again. It's like you're gonna get all sorts of people, right? And it's just fun to like play games, just play games with people and have fun. It doesn't always have to be super serious unless you're in like a big name tournament, then be competitive and cutthroat or whatever. But yeah,
which there's a big tournament this weekend. And Mark, did you sign up for it? You missed the sign up, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not on it. No.
Yeah, so it's a 64 person skirmish. I believe the showdown is at noon on Saturday, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there.
It's noon our time. Yep.
Noon our time. Good nooner on Saturday. I'm pretty pumped for that one. 64 people, a lot of content creators, a lot of top players are going to be in it. I think this is my swan song for Kano in Blitz for a while. I'm bringing him to this one. He got his dub. He can go back in the case, and I can make some. I'm going to try KO like Mark did, and I think a Kav Dane's going to come out in future matches. But yeah, I'm super pumped. A little disappointed that Mark didn't step up to the plate, but other than that, yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Not much you can do when you're rolling dice, Jason.
Unless you roll sixes.
It's true. Mark doesn't do that though. So that therein lies
Yeah, as I
the
said, we
problem.
need to get some other Destiny players in here who are better at rolling because I've ordered new cards. I'm trying to I'm gonna move on and explore some new stuff because the dice is it's been a bit of a bane. So
but not good bane from Destiny.
not a good not bane. A good
Callback.
We gotta get Sam. We gotta get Sam in here playing some Fab with us. What are you doing?
I tried. I taught him. I played one game with him.
You give him KO. You give him KO and all those dice.
I forget. I can't remember who. I think I gave him Reinar, but he was like, "Yeah, I think once it gets going and we can play in person, I think a couple of them people will come over and try it."
That'll be.
It's just when they have to do TTS or something before, they're like, "eh." But,
yeah.
One last thing that I want to really hit on before we go to time, and I'll be turn on this one. So I want to hit on Bronson's last video of content creators collaborating.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. Just want to say props to him because I believe he reached out to us first, and that was our first collaboration with any other content creator was Bronson. I believe I went on Bronson's channel.
No, I reached out to him because I saw his stuff. Like I saw one of his first couple of videos, and I was like, "Hey, dude, this dude's like, he's got like a really cool format. Like he's just got like a free form discussion going. Like we should see if he wants to do something."
Yeah, so he's continued it on. We have started doing it. We've had Dice Commandos, which hopefully I'll be reaching out to Andrew and go on his channel to do some wizardry on that. We had Session Blood. I'm probably forgetting stuff, but I think we want to continue that as well. I think it's fun to do those. Dane just left. I'm boring him with my turn 0.
He's out.
So
he quits. He's out. Done.
Who wants to be? Who wants to be? I'm turn 0. That's my final thing. Who's turn 1 as we go around the clock? Be up here, right? Be Mark. We'll go up to Mark.
Sure. We can go to
turn
Mark.
1. Try not to make it a draw. Let's go.
I'm just deleting the whole podcast. Yeah, if this draws
Yeah,
out.
I mean that worked out well
everyone
last time.
loses.
I mean, yeah, we should just delete it. Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I thought tonight was really fun. We got that last or our first official one from that store, and it was fun. Went well. Looking forward to more, and yeah, just looking forward to playing more games. So
He definitely
Not
did
much
with
else to
that
say.
closing comment. Turn 2. Let's go over to Blake. Over
Jason loves this, knowing
He
where everybody
loves
is.
knowing. I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna move people around every week now.
Every week just to mess with them. Yeah, no, I've been excited for some of the in-person play event was great. I'm really happy that we've been able to do that. I'm excited to see some local community grow around the cities with support of a store that we really enjoy in the Source. Excited for the event this weekend. And to Jason's point out that if you are a content creator and you're watching our show or our episode, podcast, whatever, and you are looking to collaborate, hit us up. Because we're a group, I know there are a lot of like single person content creators, so it's a little harder for them. We actually go break up and do different things with different people. We do interviews on the channel. We've been on different stuff. So if you're interested in doing a collaboration, hit us up. We'd love it. I loved to Jason's point, what Bronson said. I love that the community of content creators is so active in this game. It's still growing and kind of finding its way out. So that's really cool, and I'm really excited to see how it continues to grow. But if you wanna do a collab, hit us up. We'll happily do it.
Yep, and I'm gonna vet you before we do.
You
And
going, Dean?
I'm gonna go through all of. Yeah, you don't point at me. I'm gonna go through all of your recent videos and just make sure that you're up to snuff with our quality and what we. No, dude,
To be fair, we stepped our quality up. We stepped our game up. Thanks to
that's
Rob.
one thing.
Shout out to Rob.
I almost shouted him out in the comment, but I didn't want it to come off like I was fanboying too hard. But no, Rob legit, like when I left that comment on Bronson's video, like, and it's one thing I disagree with about Bronson's video is like how it's like not competitive or anything. Because I think there is a place to like be competitive, like good natured, but like pushing each other to get better. Like literally Rob's stream is the whole reason that we shook up what we're doing for our content, like level of quality. Like, Rob's got to figure out his background now and like get that all squared away because he's just in a white room. But like once he gets that up, like he's gonna be looking better, spitting fire. So stop it, Jason.
Side poster.
Oh,
Rob.
yeah. Oh, I thought you were pointing it.
No, my it's Rob. You don't have that, do you? Sorry.
Drinthia or bust for him, I bet. No, so like I think that there's definitely a place to like push each other to be better, but also it's not ever like wanting to do it at the expense of another content creator. Like all 4 people growing, and I've said from the very beginning, like having a close knit like content creator community is like one of the best things that you can have when it comes to going to big events, because I loved the after parties, like getting together and like seeing like all these content creators like throwing on like a big thank you to the community. Like I'll throw down cash to rent out a bar with you guys and like just have a bunch of people come to the upstairs and have everyone gets drink tickets or whatever it is. Like that type of stuff that just like really solidifies the community when they come together like that. That's the type of thing.
Throwing up cash, I'll be there.
No, you're throwing out cash too. But yeah, we'll talk about that. But no, I think that is an awesome part of this community, and one of the reasons that we got into content creation in the first place is because of other games where we saw that type of
But
community.
we're still allowed to hate some of them. We just won't talk about it.
Just can't leave it positive. Just can't. No, it's fine. We're going.
Well, look at Dane's face when he said that. That should be like the cover of the just disappointment. Just disappointment.
Jason, come on, man. We had like a
9%, but there's the 1% that just
No regrets. No regrets.
Just
No
because
regrets.
just because they're different doesn't mean they're wrong. No, that they actually they bother me quite a bit. But,
See,
but one of us has to be like somewhat even keel. Can't just go around.
This guy right here, right there.
Like,
That guy right there.
I'm not. Dude,
How many
I'm just
times does
crazy.
he
I can't
like
control
see
myself.
something that you guys post or do, and he's like, okay, let's like leave it at that. I feel like he's too even keel.
Oh,
Yep, that's me.
it was amazing. This was a great time, guys. I just enjoyed every moment of this. With
Oh
the
yeah,
three
always.
of you.
Look at the positivity. Are you happy?
This was great.
So
Oh,
good.
it's so
Except for
nice.
those fuckers that put out the vid. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Gotta end on a bad note every week. Oh, we're doing this weekly now.
Oh yeah, it was supposed
Yeah.
to start last week, but Dane f***ed up and hit the wrong button and lost our amazing podcast. So
Did my OBS was like not having it, man. You hit pause before you hit stop recording, so we're just gonna shut down. It's like,
and
oh
officially we've gone past time now, so it was a draw. So we might as well just delete this one.
yeah,
now,
I gotta
too.
delete the podcast. All right, everyone loses because we went to time. So sorry.
Bring us home, Dane, and ask for 2 more subscribers.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, 498.
Maybe.
498, wait,
God,
two
they've been
more.
trickling in. We must be sucking with our quality. It's just
I mean,
been like
we
it's been
get
like
$1 million when we hit 500 subscribers. They send it to us from YouTube, so it'd be great if we got 2 more subscribers. Or we get $0 and 0 cents is more likely, but
Yeah.
it
I
sounds
think,
cool that we have 500 subs.
I think Jason's been misreading the.
The agreement on how you
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah.
Jason's
I don't
like, no,
think,
I Googled it.
I don't think Jason understands how this
No,
works.
no. I saw a South Park episode. We have so many views. We get YouTube dollars. Do you remember that episode from forever ago?
God.
Come on, it's great.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Appreciate you putting up with all our nonsense and joining us, week after week. And we're going to be pumping out more of these weekly since there is so much to talk about. We've got the release coming up. We've got meta to talk about. It's going to be great. If you haven't checked out any of our streams, totally revamped that. Another shout out to Rob. Thanks for pushing us. But got some feedback from him how he's doing his thing, and we upped our game there as well. I actually streamed the locals tonight just as like a test run. I think it went pretty well. Like Streamlabs, fantastic. Loved it being able to multi-stream and stuff. But check those out. Hit that bell so that you get those notifications when our streams go live and when our videos post. And we've got more gameplay coming out as well. I've got a little bit of a special I'm working on right now, just digging super far into something about the cards. I'm going to leave it real vague. Someone posted a video and I had a panic attack because I'm like, they did what I did, but they didn't. So that's super vague. I'm not going to explain any of it until you see the video. So hit the bell so you get the notification. You can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Really appreciate everybody's support, and we'll look forward to talking to you guys next time. Peace.
See you.